This is a Dragon Blazer production.
Coming soon to a podcast near you.
Rogers, Steven.
Just give me a chance.
Sorry, son.
I'm saving your life.
General Patton has said that wars are fought with weapons, but they are won by men.
You just don't know when to give up, do ya?
I could do this all day.
Our goal is to create the greatest army in history.
I should be going with you. Look, I know you don't think I can do this.
This isn't a back alley, Steve. It's war.
But every army begins with one man.
5 tries in 5 different cities. I can offer you a chance.
He will be the first in a new breed of super soldiers.
Why me?
Because the weak men knows the value of strength, knows the value of power.
That wasn't so bad.
That was penicillin.
We are going to win this war because we have the best men.
Now, Mr. Stark.
Nay, will personally escort Adolf Hitler to the gates of hell.
How do you feel?
It's all right.
Your task won't be simple.
Who the hell are you? The first of many.
Your enemy is not what you expect.
I don't know if I can do this.
This is why you've been chosen.
What do you think?
I think it works.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Coming Soon to a Podcast Near You, Marvel Edition. I am, of course, your host, Bucky Blaze, the Fall Soldier. And as always, it is my co-host, Captain Xavier.
So yeah, we watched Captain America, First Avenger, the very first one. There was, out of all of the 100,000, actually probably over 1 million years of human civilizations, this is the first Avenger. This is a 2011 movie taking place way back in the 1940s, around, World War II, actually, during World War II. It's a story about how a weak soldier gets drugged with steroids to fight a war and punch Hitler about 300 times. And then
Just remember, kids, steroids are okay if you're trying to punch Hitler.
Wink! So yeah.
We're not going to be able to avoid not talking about Hitler in this one.
Yeah, this one's a bit inevitable, especially since the movie itself kind of has Hitler in it.
Well, no, it doesn't actually have Hitler in it.
Well, they have a guy dressed up as Hitler, which must feel really uncomfortable. I mean, unless he's also kind of just secretly a Nazi. I don't know.
No. So one thing that they do is instead of... Now, in the comics, he does literally punch Hitler. I do know that he does. Captain America has punched Hitler in the face, but but what they do in these stories is Captain America mostly fights the Hydra, which is kind of like Nazis, but not actually Nazis because they actually fought against. They kind of turned on Nazis. They were called the science division of the Nazis, and they break away. And the main bad guy is Red Skull, who's not Hitler. He's just one of the head people at the Hydra. Right. So yeah, they never actually have Hitler in this movie. They barely even talk about Hitler. The focus is on Red Skull.
Right. But yeah, we're centered around a guy named Steve Rogers. I don't know why I forgot his name for a bit. And a fun fact, because the comics are like from the 60s, because like that's how old because Marvel's like really old. Most of the comics are as well.
I think these comics actually came out during the war. Where the hell did I put my phone? Aha! It is in my pocket. Anyways, continue.
If I remember correctly, some of the comics that came from like the 60s shows like in a similar vein with like with Steve Rogers getting frozen in ice, rather than like 70 years, he's only frozen for like 20 years, which is still a long time. And, you can still be Captain America from the past who fought Nazis,
Right. Well, the story is pretty similar to the 1941 is exactly when Captain America was first created.
Huh. I did not know that. I thought it came around the same time as like Spider-Man. Spider-Man came out first, like around the 60s.
Now, Captain America was specifically made to fight Nazis. Like they made that comic book for Nazi punching goodness.
I don't know why I got confused. I think I was fed misinformation. Either that, or I gave myself the discrepancy. I don't know.
Nope.
But anyways,
I was pretty sure that there was that Captain America came out during World War II, and I was right. It's one of the oldest comic books.
Right, because Superman's definitely among the first.
Superman, I think, is the first. It's the first that's still around.
First superhero, I know that.
Yeah. It's not the first comic book. It's
38.
He's like the first superhero.
Right. I'm yawning a lot. It's late. But anyways, we are going to sit through this podcast and we're going to go through it just like Steve Rogers would. But not like he would. And he went... And he was a soldier at heart at first of the movie, of course. But then he got steroids, and so he went from little wimpy Steve to big buff steroid Steve.
That's right.
Yeah, he basically went from skinnier than I am, which is saying a lot, to a friggin' colossus of a guy. And also, when what's her name?
Carter.
Carter, yeah.
Agent Carter.
Yeah, and I've laughed a lot more than I probably should have. When she instinctively like touched his chest. I feel like, okay, when you told me, like, okay, that's something like they kept in there, but like it wasn't in the script because she just did it instinctively. I probably shouldn't have laughed at that, because if a guy did that, you'd get fired, probably.
Well, you're
And
not
they
supposed
probably,
to grab women's chests, yes, but it is what it is.
but double standard, yeah, okay. But yeah, don't be touching people's chest. Also, quality content, if I say. Hey, trains are from the 40s. This works very well. Anyways, yeah, I'll get myself a really good mic at some point. I will contribute to the podcast in that way as well. Yeah.
So, are we ready for synopsis?
I thought that's what we were doing.
Well,
Yeah, continue.
I mean, pretty much it's about a young man who had a heart, who gets drugs. Super soldier serum is what they call it, but it's drugs. Steroids. They're just science steroids. Although, aren't all steroids science?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. That's kind of how steroids work. Science, juicy, druggy science.
Yay, science. But, and then he becomes Captain America. They don't want him to be Captain America. They think he's just like a experiment gone wrong, because the scientist that created him died. And then he kind of just forces himself on a mission, because he was like, screw this, I can do more. And he saves a bunch of people, and then he gets his own little thing to go fight Red Skull and punch some Nazis or Hydras.
There's also the second instance that we see what we now know, except that we now know. I think they coined the term Infinity Stone in this movie. Did they? Did they coin the term Infinity Stone in Thor?
They don't mention the Infinity Stone in this movie.
Okay.
We know it's an Infinity Stone, but they don't know that that's what they have. We just know there's powerful objects in the world, and that's what people keep trying to find or look for, I guess. But we don't know that it's an actual Infinity Stone. We won't really know that, I don't think, until...
I think Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Maybe?
Because I remember they coined that term in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't know if they mentioned it at all before then. I don't know.
I'm not sure. We don't find out right away. Yeah, and it's Thanos looking for him.
Right. We haven't met Thanos yet. We actually won't until the next movie, which Avengers. And although, yeah, we'll be talking about that though during that podcast. But but at last, right now, we are, yeah, you know the whole drill. And speaking of drill, he meant to do that kind of drill to Carter, but he got frozen. I mean, he might a little in the future, but spoilers, yeah.
Spoilers.
I'm not going to talk about any of that. But yeah, I find it really crazy to think about it. Like this movie feels so much older than it really is. Like it. I mean, it is old. Like it's almost 12 years old.
2011, I think. 2010.
Yeah, it's 2011. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this movie was so much older than that. I don't know. Weird.
Mm.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. But yeah. What? Let's discuss the individual characters themselves, starting with, Steve Rogers. What do you think about the character? I mean, like, with his introduction.
I think they picked a very good Steve Rogers. I like him. Because he's...
Why don't you marry him? I should probably not be laughing that loud.
But, yeah, Chris Pine, or is that Chris Pine? Chris Evans. Which Chris is he?
It's Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, sure.
Yeah. Chris Pine, so I know it's Chris Evans.
Fair enough. Yeah, they picked a good guy to play Steve Rogers. Captain America's never been one of my favorite characters because he's kind of too goody two-shoes, American way. I'm just not, I prefer my heroes with a little bit more darkness.
Anti-hero kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he uses a shield instead of a sword and a shield. The blasphemy! But it's pretty cool because he uses it as a frisbee instead.
Yeah. He also uses a gun. It's kind of weird seeing Captain America with a gun.
Yeah, yeah. He's also fun to play as in Marvel vs. Capcom, though.
Is he?
Yeah. It's fun to throw things at people.
Sure.
I like throwing things at people.
Understand.
There's a weird, awkward silence there. But anyways, moving on from Steve Rogers, though, the antagonist is Red Skull, who is basically Hitler, but not Hitler, because you know nothing about, like if you use a real life figure in a movie, then you have no way to redeem him, which also spoilers, but Red Skull does return. But yeah, Red Skull, he's a fresh character. You don't know anything about him until he starts talking, and you see he's a comic book villain, not a real life murdering
dictator.
yeah, a dictator. True. Yeah, he's a tater of dicks. But anyways, moving on from that, I think he was actually a lot more present in the movie than I remember, although he wasn't exactly a Red Skull for the entire movie, in my defense. So, but he was present for a good portion of the movie, and he's definitely evil. He is very, very evil. He likes power and kills people, killing people with power.
Killing people's fun.
Yeah. We all know the feeling. Anyways,
of course.
Anyways, then there's Bucky.
Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, he
Winter
wasn't
Soldier.
He wasn't present for a whole bunch of the movie, but the time he was a pretty stand-up guy. Then there's Carter.
Bucky.
Carter's the girl.
Agent Carter.
She is the girl.
I actually watched the first episode of her series because she got her own show.
Well,
called Agent Carter. It's on Disney Plus. But I watched the first episode. I'm planning on watching some more of it. After watching this movie, I was like, I'm going to check out Agent Carter. I don't think it ties too much into the MCU, so I'm not sure how much I need to watch it, but I want to watch it.
Right.
So I like the actress who plays her. She's good. She's good. Yeah.
Aside from her, it's like I did find the whole thing with her like, even if like you shouldn't, out of jealousy of someone like kissing, and he should not have let that girl kiss him. He should not have been. He definitely should not have let him. He definitely shouldn't have let her kiss him. But like, but the fact that like he was like, hey, you want to test this vibranium? And she just took a gun and like started unloading like.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Works well.
It works. Oh, and it's a good thing too because he'd have died.
Yeah.
And she seems to like get over it pretty quickly. Even scheduling, hey, you want to go on a date later? And then he gets frozen in ice for 70 years. And
yeah, you know.
Things happen. Yeah.
Things happen.
These things happen a lot, right?
Sometimes she accidentally gets frozen in ice. So, I mean, whatever, you know.
It's
These
New
things
York.
happen.
What can you say?
That's right. Actually, he doesn't make it to New York.
Right. And I did three states in the U.S. like this one video. Did I? Or was that last video? I don't know. We did this. We're doing this both these podcasts side by side. So.
What? No, I have a whole different shirt on. Not side by side. Damn it! You ruined it.
Yeah,
Now
I don't think they would have noticed if you didn't mention it.
Thinking you didn't notice I changed my shirt.
Did you change your shirt?
Yes. I was wearing my Grogu shirt, and now I'm wearing a Pac-Man shirt.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Very observant of you. I'm so glad we're doing a podcast where you got to be observant. Anywho.
I'm observant when I'm supposed to be observant. I'm doing a podcast. I'm not supposed to be observant during the podcast. I'm supposed to take what I did observe and then spell it out in words.
All right. So, what did you think of?
Buttery manner. Huh?
What did you think of Captain America?
Very Americana-y.
Very Americana-y?
Very Americana-y, which is a...
Very McConaughey?
Americana is a Offspring album. It's a really good album, too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Anyways.
Mm-hmm. It is,
yes.
is.
Yes.
That's true. That's true.
Yes. True.
Well, do you have a rating for Captain America?
I definitely put it in the middle between really good and just pretty good. Like there's not a whole lot I can say bad about this movie. I mean, aside from Hitler, like there's I mean, if you punch Hitler a bunch of times, there's nothing bad about that. Like there's you can go wrong, but for every time you hit Hitler, you just right those wrongs because you're hitting Hitler. So
Yes.
I think this movie definitely deserves a solid 9.
Solid 9.
Solid
Really?
9.
I don't think I agree. We
Okay.
just watched Terminator, and I gave it an 8. So
That's the thing. You're kind of comparing them a little unfairly. Like when you refer to you're putting Terminator and Captain America on the same scale, and it's like rating My Little Pony in the same vein with Scary Movie. Like My Little Pony has a different attempting like what My Little Pony tries to accomplish is like having this, I don't know, the power of friendship and magic and stuff like that, like that, those demographics. But like Scary Movie is, I guess, a comedy. I don't really know a whole lot about Scary Movie actually, so I don't know. It's supposed to be a sort of scary movie. I don't know. It's definitely not in the same vein as My Little Pony. At least I don't think it is.
I don't know where you got those two combinations, but yes,
I chose those two combinations because they're. I know those two are different. Like
that's fair.
Like you can rate My Little Pony at a 9 and Scary Movie at an 8, and it wouldn't mean that My Little Pony is better than Scary Movie, but like I'd say that I put it at a 9 because I think it would do better for its demographic.
Well,
even though I'd probably like Scary
I'm also judging it compared to other Marvel movies. This is definitely not one of my favorite Marvel movies. I don't dislike it. Don't get me wrong. But it's by far not like one of my favorites.
What about so far though? Because like we got Iron Man, we got Thor, we got the Hulk. I mean, we've also got Iron Man 2, but I don't think we've really liked that movie nearly as much as the other ones.
Well, here's the thing. I think I liked Iron Man and Thor better than I like this movie.
Right.
Although this one, well, no. Thor has the best villain. I was going to say, this one might have the best villain, but I forgot. Loki is in Thor, and that makes that automatically have the best villain.
Yeah, that kind of complicates things. I mean,
but
Loki does.
Red Skull is a decent villain. I do like Red Skull. I think he's better than Tobias from Iron Man and Whiplash from Iron Man 2. So this is probably the best villain outside of Loki, who's just one of the best regardless.
Right.
This is probably one of the best villains outside of Loki.
So, looking at... Where's Thor at?
I do like the fact that this is like a period piece. So that's cool. I like that. I like period pieces. I like to go back in time in movies and see what the world was like back then and shit.
When you say period piece, I think of something completely different.
Okay.
I think of tampons.
Nope, that's not. Nope.
So you gave Thor an 8.5. You gave Iron Man. You gave Iron Man 2 a 5, but Iron Man 1, I'm looking, and I put it as female because FE. Yeah, you gave both Iron Man and Thor 8.5s.
Well, this I'm probably going to go with a solid 8.
All right.
I don't think it's that much worse than those. It's still a really good movie, just not my favorite that we watched.
Right.
But I also have high bar when it comes to the MCU movies, so.
Right. I'm also like trying not to use my own bias when it comes to like these movies because I'm talking into a podcast. I mean, I'm talking about like the things that I like. Like there's certain things I like more than other movies, and obviously like my bar is going to be a little bit different from like the first time I did the podcast. But like we're changing it up. I'm trying to like mellow into it. Like yeah, but yeah, I'm trying not to add too much of my own bias into it and try to look this at a standpoint of like, okay, what is the creators of the movie attempting to do, and do they succeed in doing that? Like, and I feel like with the things that this movie is trying to do, it does really, really well.
It's fair.
fight Nazis, fight a guy named Red Skull, who is basically Hitler, but like you know he's not Hitler, so it's fun to see him like you empathize with him without, empathizing with Hitler, because nobody wants to empathize with Adolf Hitler. No one should have to, or no one should. You get the idea. He's freaking Hitler. Nobody likes him.
9. No one likes me.
Nobody should.
But he was just trying to defend his people.
Was he though? What was he?
No.
He was committing a lot of hate crimes. Like literally just doing everything he did for the sake of hate. Like, have you looked up what a freaking concentration camp is? That is literally the embodiment of a hate crime.
Yes, I am kind of aware what a concentration camp is.
Yeah, yeah. And even though we're, and anyway, by the way, even though that we're doing like a comedy podcast, we find this stuff not humorous in the slightest. It is very, very disgusting behavior. But yeah, fuck
what
you,
we're
Hitler.
saying is Hitler was bad.
Yeah, fuck you, Hitler.
Dang, I'm gonna have to go through it. I think this is just gonna be mature.
What? We all know that bleep noises are funnier than the actual words.
Or
Or you can just use your signature. Cut that.
Cut that.
Yep. Anyways,
I can't really take claim to that, unfortunately. That's not simply me. I kind of got that from the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast. They do the cut that a lot.
I see.
Because they're funny.
The lore is expanding. Anyways. Alright. Now we move on to Rotten Tomatoes. And
Oh, those Rotten Tomatoes.
tomatoes are very... I don't think the tomatoes are rotten in this one. I'd have to say critics, let's say 80. And audience, 76.
Alright, I'm going to go with... for the first one, I'm going to go critics 82 and audience 86.
Okay.
Captain America, the first Avenger. 80% is critics. 75%
Nice.
is, yeah.
Holy crap, I almost got that exact on both of them. I got it exact on the critics, but I was really close on the audience.
So close. Yet no cigar. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, I'm not too good with this thing yet. I don't think it has enough holes to like do that.
That's
Not enough holes.
what she
Anyways.
said. Anyways, what's next? Cinemantra? I think it's Cinemantra. Are you still upset by the holes comment? So many weird looks.
Bloody hell, man. Why? Why would you do that?
Did
Why?
it just dawn on you what I said?
Why? Why would you do this to me? Just you raised me. You raised me for almost 20 years, and then you go and like pull stuff like this. I can't believe I started a podcast with you. Anyways, Cinemantra time. So, have you thought of a Cinemantra yet? I think I have. Yeah. Okay.
I have not yet, so you can go first.
Okay. I'll try to keep it simple, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So, tell me now. Choose a country. Now, I want you to tell me, what planet from Star Wars that Captain Insert Country here would go and attack and invade and just utterly destroy? I don't need you to talk about manpower, but like, I want you to choose a country and choose a Star Wars planet, or just a planet from any science fiction. So first, choose a country that you'd have Captain, not America. It cannot be America.
Captain Tatooine?
No, I think you got it backwards. No. Okay, Captain Country invading a planet.
Captain Canada versus Mustafar.
Okay.
Begin.
So we've got like a guy who's really used to the cold versus a planet that's mostly hot.
That's right.
That'll go over really well. Yeah, he's going to get heat stroke pretty dang fast.
A little bit. Maybe a little bit.
You know, a good portion of Canada is really cold. You do realize that, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know what your point is.
I mean, Mustafar is pretty hot.
The melt
It's
Canada.
literally a volcanic planet. That is how it is described. I'll give you a 7. It's creative, but he's dead. You know that, right? Anyways, it's But anyways,
You gotta fight through that adversity. Gosh darn it. Cinemantra.
just like how you had to go up the stairs.
If you could take a super soldier serum that enhanced one specific trait, what trait would you want the super soldier serum to enhance?
I get the bait. I know exactly what you're thinking. But no, I'm not going to say penis. But I will say hair, because why not go Super Saiyan 3 with steroids? Steroid hair. Hairoids.
Okay. Well, that's my Cinemantra.
And you give me...
Oh. What do I give you? I'll give you a 6. I like Dragon Ball Z. I'm fine with this.
Yeah. And I hate to ask this, but what? No, never mind. I'm not going to ask you. Anyways, so do we have anything else to say about this movie? I think we've mentioned everything about it. Like it's got like I really like the idea. I like everything that the movie attempts to portray and manages to portray it. It's a really good movie. And I can't wait until we get to the Avengers and everything comes together.
That'll be next, right? Or next?
Yep. That's the next MCU movie that we watch.
Cool.
Then after that, we watch Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. All right. So, do you have anything else to say about the movie?
No, and it's sad because this is a really, really good movie, but it's probably we're gonna get some really good Captain Americas, but they're all gonna be like team up movies, like Avengers. So they pretty much become Avengers movies instead of Captain America movies. He doesn't really get his own movie after this one.
Right. I remember. I know Civil War. Spoiler. I know Civil War. I remember watching Civil War and thinking, like, why isn't this like an Avengers movie? Because like, it's named Captain America. It's not. It's named. Even though it's named Captain America, like Captain America isn't the main focus. It's like it's both. Actually, I think there's an equal focus on both Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah, it is.
Bit of Bucky.
And then the next one we're going to be watching in Captain America is the Winter Soldier, which is also have a lot of them in it.
Right. But we'll get to those when we get to those. But let's do a next one is our random movie. So we got let's ask Siri.
Hey Siri. Oh, I need to remember what the number is. I need to
48.
Is it 48?
Yeah.
Hey Siri. Pick a random number from 1 to 48.
It's 36.
36.
36, she says. Which is... That's cool. She finally didn't pick one that was like,
12, 2,
1
14.
through 5. Yeah. 36 is pick a director.
So director, what are we picking for the director before
We're gonna with this one, we'll pick a famous director, not just anybody, but someone pretty famous. One of the big ones, like Steven Spielberg or something along those lines. The big ones,
right?
Stanley Kubrick, stuff like that. So we're gonna pick a movie based on a director's, like Quentin Tarantino or something. Or my personal thought is Kevin Smith. That had a lot less fanfare than I expected. And you don't know who Kevin Smith is?
Oh, not off the top of my head, no.
That is my favorite director. And I love him. Anyways, that's who I want to do.
Oh, you love him, don't you?
Do it.
Oh.
I love him.
Then why don't you
Don't
marry him?
Why don't you shut up?
This is why I do the podcast.
But I'm gonna have to see what Kevin Smith movies are on, and I want to do that.
All right.
Kevin Smith.
So yeah, next movie we'll be doing is a Kevin Smith directed movie. All right. I am Cryo-Kinarchist on the Instagram and the Facebook and YouTube and the TikToks, but also kind of Twitter, but also not Twitter. You know. What about you, Father?
I am Stevie Blaze. I'm on the Facebooks as Dragon Blazer Productions, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also find me on the Twitters at Dragon Blazer Pro. That is all. So, Auf Wiedersehen.
Peace. Oh, once again, please, if you will, like and subscribe onto our YouTube page titled Coming Soon to a Podcast Near You, where all these wacky podcasts where we watch movies and review them go on. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace.